Good morning. So today topic is linked list stacks and linked list queues. So this is nothing but stacks using linked list. In previous classes we learn about linked list individually. So in this video we are learning about how the queues and stacks are implemented with the help of linked list. So before going to topic, just revise the contents, what is a stack and what is a linked list. So stack is a linear data structure. So stack is a special kind of linear data structure, and it follows the first in first out format, and it's a linear ordered, it's a collection of linear ordered and the same type of data elements, and all the insertion and deletion operations will be done at the same end in the with the help of in the linked list, and it follows the principles of last in first out or first in last out principle. So this is about stack. So this is the example of the stack. The background image, we can see the background image with a set of books which is placed on the desk on the table. The first book is Micromedia Studio 8, and the second book is ASP 2.0, and the third book is ASP.NET, and the fourth book is Oracle, and fifth book is Perl. So we arrange these particular books with the help of stack principle. So first we place on the table, the first book is Micromedia Studio 8, and the second we place the book ASP 2.0, and the third book we place the ASP.NET, and the fourth book we place the Oracle, and the fifth and the last one we place the Perl. So we did all the insertion operation in the stack. If you want to pick, or if you want to remove the one of the book from the stack, in the sense we need to take the first book but not the other which is the remaining books. Though we have only one option, we can pick the book of Perl and then Oracle, and the third one is ASP, and the fourth one is ASP.NET 2.0, and finally we can pick the Micromedia Studio. So we can place the books in the same order, and we can remove the books in the same order itself. So that is the meaning what we seen in this video. So this was previous slide at one end of the list. So we inserting the books at the same with one direction only, and we are removing the books also in the one direction only. That is nothing but one end of the list. So coming to normal technical example. So if you want to draw in a pictorial format, means then we can use this type of format. So for the first one what we are seeing in this is empty stack. This is empty stack. So in the empty stack we are pushing the first one. So number 1, that is number 1, and in the second image we can see the second number is pushing into the stack, and then in the third image we are pushing the 3 number, and we are popping the 3 from the stack. So from this this point to this, first from this image to this image, we are only did the insertion operation, and that insertion operation we technically call it as a push, and we are removing the 3 from the stack. So in this particular image we are removing the 3 from the stack. That is nothing but popping the popping the data from the stack. So this is about the books explains the real time example, and this particular pictorial representation also explain the example of the stack. So next, so what we are what we are learning in this particular video is, we are learning about the linked list with the stacks and linked list with the queues. Linked list with the queues. So here we have the definition of a linked list. A linear list or linked list is an order of collection of numbers of item of the same type. So we should collect the elements with the same data type. That is nothing but similar data type, and we arrange this particular linked list with the help of nodes in a linear format. So normally links in the sense, this is the normal what we are seeing the image, the background image is links. So one is connected to the another one, the another one is connected to the another one, and it will goes to until our need. This is the technical example. So every link contains some data, every link contains some data, and this particular data is linked with the next one, and the next one connect with the next one with the help of the links. So this is what happened with the linked list. So a linked list is a collection of nodes also. The another definition of the linked list is collection of nodes, where node is divided into two parts. One is data, one is data, one is data, another one is for pointer variable or link, or we can say that reference also. So in data we can place the different types of data elements in the node, and in the link or in the reference we assign the pointer variable, we assign the pointer address of the next node. So we can see the complete linked list, we can see the complete linked list here. So here there are 4 nodes, the first node carrying the 15, and the second one carrying the data 3, and the third one carrying the data 17, and fourth one carrying the data 19. And here we are saying the link. In this first node link, it is carrying the next node address. 3600 is the address of the next node, and it is storing in the first node address, first node reference part. In the same way, the second node is also carrying the address of the next node of 4000. Next node, and the node address is 4000, and same as the 17 data node also carrying the address of the next node, and the final one is filling with the null, because after that we don't have the node, that's why we are filling with the null. And all these nodes will access with the header. So this is the main node, this is one of the node, and it is an important node where this particular node will be access. With the help of this node only we access all the elements in the linked list. This is about node, and this is about linked list. In this linked list is implementing with the help of stack. This is the stack with the linked list example. So first we are pushing, so by seeing this, the first element in the stack is 25 and 32, second element is 32, and the third element is 50, and fourth element is 99. So the first we insert the element 25, and the second inserted push the element is 32, and the third pushed element is 50, and finally we push the 99 element. If you want to pop the element, means first of all we need to remove the 99, and then 50, and then 32, and finally 25, so that the stack will become null. The stack will become null. So this is about linked list, about node, linked list, and stack using linked list. So in our particular prescribed textbook, they define about they implemented different operations, and how the operations will be defined we see with the help of the coding. So by using, generally in our lab also we are using C, and the lab list also they preferred for C programming. So according to that we are learning the examples, and even the prescribed textbooks also giving the examples in C language itself. So if you want to create a node, we obviously we have any structure structure is there to define a node. So where structure, the general definition of the structure is that the structure is the collection of different elements. Here we are defining two variables, namely data and next. So data indicates the integer value, and the next pointer variable indicates the address of the next node. So after creating this particular data, we need to allocate the memory for this node. We need to allocate the dynamic memory for the node. So for that the blue color text is code for allocating the memory. So for allocating explicit memory, we have a function malloc in C language. So by malloc function we are specifying the size of the node. Size of is also a function which gives the return value of the size of the assigned variable. We assign the node here. So the size of the node is here the 2 bytes of integer, and the structure type node is also pointer variable, and it has some memory. For example, if you consider 2 bytes, so 2 plus 2 4 bytes. The size of returns the 4 to the malloc. So by seeing the 4 bytes, the malloc assign the 4 bytes of memory for structured type. This is nothing but typecasting. So in this particular line we are seeing three things. One is malloc function, and malloc function is using for allocating the dynamic memory, and then size of function. The size of function is to know the size of the variable which we assigned as a parameter, and then this particular thing is nothing but typecasting. If for example, if I place 4, if I place float here instead of structure node, then obviously this malloc function allocate the memory according to the float data type. If I return character in the place of structure node, the malloc function allocates the memory according to the character type. So this is nothing but typecasting. We are converting the data what we given before the brackets, before the open brackets, and after the open brackets and closed brackets, what we define the variable. So without intervention of this variable and without intervention of the type of that particular variable, we just converted what we need and according to our purpose. If you want to float type of memory, then obviously we can put the float term keyword in brackets, so that the complete line, the remaining line will be works as a float type. So this is what happened. This is typecasting, this is malloc function, and the final one is size of 0. The complete one is assigned to a node. So that we can create a memory for this particular data. We can create a memory for this particular node. This is what we learn in previous classes. So in this particular topic, they introduce typecasting. They introduce the typedef concept, which we learn in C language. So by using typedef also we can create a memory, or we can define a variable. We can first of all we can define a variable, and we can create a memory also. We can allocate the memory also by using the typedef mode. So what the difference between what is the main working nature of the typedef? So typedef is in a keyword. Basically it's a keyword. What it does? So what it does means it provides alias names for variables. It provides alias names for variables. For example, we can define like this int a. In the sense, so a is in a variable and it's a type of integer, and it allocates 2 bytes of memory after compilation, right? But if we write like this, so int ui, the complete line doesn't allocate the memory even after compilation also. But by this line, int a, after compilation, it allocates the 2 bytes of memory for integer data type. But for this line, after compilation also, the compiler doesn't allocate the memory for the ui, because int is an original data type and ui is an alias name for the int. So instead of writing int a, int b, we can use the ui also. So we are providing the alias name for integer type with the help of typedef keyword. So that we can see in the second line ui in the sense it is nothing but integer. So because we provide a alias name, we provide a alias name. Through that alias name we are creating two variables. One is I, another one is j. So we are assigning I for 5 and we are assigning 8 for j, and we are printing the I value and j value. But in front of that we doesn't assigning any, we doesn't prefix any data type like integer, float, or whatever it may be. We are not prefixing the data types. We are just using the UI. So that we can conclude, we are providing the alias names for the predefined data types with the help of typedef keyword. If we use the same typedef keyword for structures in the sense, for example, this is normal structure. This is normal structure. The structure name is complex, and we have two variables. One is real, another one is image. And after that, we are creating two variables a and b. So structure complex a and b. This complete is nothing but a data type. For example, if I write like this, int x comma y, int x comma y, in the sense we have two variables x comma y, namely x comma y, and every variable occupies 2 bytes of memory according to the C compiler. In the same place, in the same int place, we are writing structure complex. In the sense, we are creating our own data types with the help of structure, and here the int name is rewriting with the structure complex. So instead of writing int float, instead of writing int float character, we are writing struct complex. That is the data type, and the variable names are a comma b. So how much memory will allocated for a comma b? Here we are using two variables of float type. For float, we the C compiler assigning 4 bytes, and again one more float variable is there. For that also 4. The 4 plus 4, total 8 bytes of memory will allocated for the a and 8 bytes for b. This is what happened for the when we using structure. If we use typedef for structure, if we use for typedef for structure, the same thing will be rewritten as like this: complex a comma b. Just we are not writing the structure, but in the simple in this simple code we doesn't get what the benefits of typedef. But when we go for further coding, we can see what the benefit of that particular typedef when we are using, instead of using direct, instead of using this what the benefit of using this, we can see in a instant, in a moment. So in before slide we talk about the structure, and by using malloc function we are we are allocating the memory. The same this particular large code will be rewriting like this. We are instead of writing this particular code, we are writing this. So this is the what the complexity will be reduced in this particular sentence because of by using typedef. So before we use the typedef, we use the typedef. So we just complex a. So a equal to complex malloc size of complex. This is the simple. But when we are going for normal structures, structure node, malloc size of structure of node, if you want to write this, if you want to create a memory allocation for 10 to 15 times according to our requirement, then we need to repeat the complete instruction for every time. So this is burden for the programmer. So by using typedef, we can reduce this particular instruction in the simple way. So this is the main use of the typedef. So, and this is only the this particular topic, this particular keyword only explained in this particular linked list using stack. And for example, we are creating a node, and it's an example for creating a node for stack using linked list. So we are creating in a stack node. So typedef structure element, and item for data storing, and the next is for storing the address of the next node, and complete structure name is element. So we need not write again structure element E or structure element A. We need not type the complete sentence because we are using type def. So we can use element E or element A or element x1 comma x2 comma x3 so on. We can create n number of variables by using the element only. We need not bother about we need not write again a structure, element, everything. So we just write element, and after that the variables what we declared is belongs to the element type. And after that we are creating the top node. One is for this is for node for storing data and address of the next node. This is the top node, just it stores the address of the one node. So for these two structures, this is the example image, this is the example image. So this is the example image. So for top, this is the code. For creating this top, this is the code. For creating each node, this is the code. So this is the data type what we are using for creating the node. So the 33 will be allocated with the help of item, and 4900 will be allocated with the help of element next, and the top will be created with the help of stack. So elements is nothing but node and stack is nothing but top. So coming to the push operation, coming to push operation, we are using element E. In the sense, by using by using star E, we are creating a node. So node is divided into two parts. For this, the memory allocation is allocating by using malloc and size of function. And then E item equal to item, we need to enter the item, and these particular elements will be comes with the parameter. For example, this parameter, if I place 20, so item equal to 20, item equal to 20 in the sense E of item is 20, E of next equal to top. If the list is empty, the first, if the list is having this particular node is in a first node, then it carries the address of the top address, the what we created with the help of top. This address will be connected with this particular node, and E of top is assigned with the this address. So what, this is the push operation what we learn. Thank you.